All right, seventh inning stretch here with you. Logan Stone with me. We're going to get into Mr. Devers, the big news. If you're tuning into Sunday Night Baseball, boom, showed up right there, right away. The Giants acquired Devers from the Red Sox. We'll get into that. We'll get into a little bit of what happened with the Phillies today with Big Nick. Is he getting benched? What's going on there in Philadelphia? Do we have some drama there as well? Will that result in a trade? We'll get into that with Mr. Stone here. Seventh inning stretch with you. Here we go. What'd you think? Sunday night, it comes out in the news. Rafael Devers. We had talked about it. Josh Edwards ahead of the story. He was thinking. We'll get into the Red Sox and kind of beat them up a little bit along the way here. Maybe not, but I mean, Logan Stone, like, this is a big trade in early June. Huge trade.
Yeah. I mean, it's I wouldn't say it's shocking. And I do want to I want to give Edwards a backhanded compliment because he did say that he was going to get traded, but he also said that he should be licking the floors clean for the owners because he's getting paid $300 million. So I don't necessarily think he was right in the right way, but whatever. But yeah, it was it's Tuesday today. As yesterday, we heard a lot more news and stories that came along with it. It kind of seemed like that relationship was just done. There was no coming back from it, and it was just a lack of communication, and just not even just talking to each other. It seemed like. So it's just kind of weird. It's weird hearing Yankees fans talk about it, and it's weird hearing the rest of baseball talk about it. It's weird hearing Red Sox fans talk about it. It's a very weird trade, and I heard someone try to say it was worse than Arenado. I don't know where it ranks in the history of baseball trades, but it may be up there.
I don't think you can say. I mean, I don't think Devers carries as much weight as some of these worst trades ever. It's too early to tell with that. But I look at the Giants side of it. Like, what a great they have a hard time signing free agents. They have this guy that got a 10-year deal. He falls out of love with his franchise 2 years later. Becomes available. The Giants have money they pay on the whole contract. They give up Hicks, Harrison, their first round pick, and a relief pitcher from Single A as well. It feels like a steal. Now, maybe Harrison proves us wrong. Maybe Hicks figures it out. But it just feels like Boston's saying we're throwing in the towel a little bit. But from the Giants' standpoint, with this division that they'll have a hard time ever keeping up with the Dodgers financially, what a great opportunity for them to sneak in and get come on, whatever you want to say about him, his bad start, everything. He's one of the best hitters in Major League Baseball.
Right?
I mean, he's one of the best hitters, and the Giants need hitting.
What was he? Probably third in MVP votes, probably early. I mean, in the American League at least. I don't remember exactly, but I mean, he was hitting he was hitting really well, and I mean, he was definitely putting his money where his mouth was. So, yeah.
Do you like it for the Giants though? Like, I think this maybe takes them to or do you think not going to make a difference this year?
It's a lot of pressure on him, for sure. I think this was a necessary move. It may be it's so funny. They send Jordan Hicks, who's not been the greatest. They sent Michael Harrison, I think it was, who immediately got sit down. They did send the number 4 prospect, and some people are saying that they did overpay for it, for Devers, which is kind of interesting. So, I mean, you're getting a guy, you're committing to him for 9 years, having to pay $250 million for him until he's 36 years old, which isn't bad, but you're also, I mean, You're committing to the guy, and he's he's only going to be able to play third, first, or DH. There's no
He's
outfield.
28. He's
He is. He is
28.
28, and so
And he said he'd play wherever he wanted to, right?
yeah, and I think I mean I like it. I do like it. I think it's going to work out for everyone. I think Buster Posey is probably good enough to talk to him and just say, hey, this is how it needs to. I mean, this is what we want to do, and just making sure that they're communicating with each other, and unlike what Breslow was. So I think I like it for the Giants for sure, and I think it will work out. I think what if anything the people are going to say the Red Sox should have kicked in some cash.
Yeah, but I think from the Giants' end, right, they've had such a hard time signing free agents. I think they'll take, you know what I mean? That's just kind of what they would have signed somebody to that was a superstar. So I think they look at it like that.
They may have overpaid, but that it's just kind of something that they had to do. They had to overpay for Adames. They kind of overpaid for Correa when they had him. So, they just really needed to get somebody there.
And they get a right-handed bat. You mentioned Barry Bonds walking them out today to the game up there with it. So that was good. Yeah. I mean, so what does this mean for the Red Sox though? The Red Sox obviously, is this throwing in the towel? Is this them just saying they offered him a 10-year deal. You wanted him to be part of your franchise for a decade. And then one little thing comes up and then 2 years later you're getting rid of him. So this seems deeper than changing a position, right?
Yeah. One of the big things that I kept on hearing was this was not Craig Breslow was not the one who extended Devers. No. It was one of the last things Chaim Bloom did. And then the other thing I heard was it just kept on happening and happening and happening. And it reminded me of an article that came out a couple years ago that said if everything had worked out for the Red Sox, and I know I've showed you this, but it was a lineup, and basically the lineup consisted of Mookie Betts, Jackie Bradley Jr., Andrew Benintendi, JD Martinez, let's see, Xander Bogaerts, Devers, I think Christian Vasquez, a couple other guys, and Chris Sale was in that team, and everybody. I mean, it was a solid team if you looked at it on paper. And I think there's an underlying issue where they are not evaluating their talent well. There is a sense that they got rid of Mookie Betts because they thought they overpaid for him, and he was kind of on his way out. So they got rid of him to the Dodgers, got rid of him for Verdugo. Then they got rid of Xander Bogaerts because they didn't think he was going to be sustainable either. And then the guy that they kept, Rafael Devers, they kept for a year and a half. And now they're getting rid of him because they don't think he's sustainable. And so it's just kind of weird how and the relationships have soured from Betts to Bogaerts and now Devers. Not to the extent Betts and Bogaerts were. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Not to the extent of Devers, it wasn't horrible like Devers, but anyway, so this Breslow thing is just kind of uncovering just this disrespect and this weird disconnect between players and the front office. And so I'm kind of curious, they had this really great solid core that they were proud of, and if they had kept it, I mean, we'd be talking about a dynasty, honestly. I mean, if they had kept Betts, they had kept Bogarts and Devers and Jackie Bradley and Benintendi and all these guys. I mean, that it would have been a solid team.
Yeah,
And you would have been losing some of these guys to free agency, and that's fine. But I mean, when Bogarts leaves, you have Christian Campbell coming in,
yeah.
and
The ownership didn't handle these situations very well.
yeah,
I mean,
and so
they blew it, and I would have to say Devers, if he did want to be in Boston, obviously he kind of blew it too. So maybe there's a world where he didn't want to be there. Before I get back to you, here's their beat writer Chris Cantello talking about maybe how Devers kind of left Boston a little bit.
The city meeting, was either the beginning of the end or pretty close to the end, where they basically did something that you don't see very often. John Henry gets on the plane. They lock Henry, Cora, and Devers in an office at Kauffman Stadium, and Henry says, "Hey, we need you to play first base." And it seems like, based on the fact he was traded last night, that he said, "No, I'm your DH. Stop, jerking me around like this."
Wow, pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward with that, and just that's one perspective on the trade. But I guess that's what it was. He didn't want to be in Boston. That's what it seems like, based on the remarks he also made today in San Francisco. So somewhere along the line, that trust was broken with Boston.
Yeah. And I think it was a communication breakdown where, they didn't let fill him in the offseason saying, hey, we're going after Bregman. If we get Bregman, we want him to play third. We'll move you to first base or we'll move you to DH. But it turned into this thing where they go after Bregman and then they get Bregman. They tell Devers, hey, Bregman is going to play third. And then now and Devers goes, hey, no, I don't want to play third. And then they basically disrespect him to what is it? They just basically just belittled him. Yeah, they disrespected him and said, hey, you need to just forget about playing on the field. And then he comes out so he's like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll just DH. And then they ask him to play first base. And he's like, well, screw you guys. And so I understand Devers has a lot of responsibility in this. He's not clean in any way. But I think you really have to just understand that, like, if you got paid and you're the face of the team and you're taking the brunt of all the pressure, and then you just get the front office thinks that they can just jerk you around like that. Yeah. I'd be offended too. So
people are offended for much less than that. And we look at the standings with them, like the Giants right now. They sit at, what do I got them at? They got 41 and 31, 2.5 games behind LA. They lost 2 out of 3 there, playing tonight versus Cleveland. And then you have the Red Sox. They're 38 and 36, still over 500, 5 games out, and they're in the wild card spot right now. So just an interesting move, interesting baseball move for sure. And you got to give Posey credit. You got to give him credit for having the guts and the huevos to get out there and make a trade like that. That's a good move, man. That's a good move for the Giants. I mean, they're set up now.
Yeah. I mean, they still need – I mean, a Ryan O'Hearn trade, what was it, last Thursday when we talked, or Friday?
Yeah, they still need little pieces, but now they got the big dog, though, right?
Right. And that's what we said was, like, on Friday, we said, it would be great if they got Ryan O'Hearn or some, Cedric Mullins, but really they need a big impact bat. And I was like, it wouldn't even really matter if they got Ryan O'Hearn because they need a big bat. Now they have the big bat. Now you can go get a Ryan O'Hearn, complementary pieces to surround your team with, surround your team around Devers. And so it's going to be really interesting.
Do you think in some way, okay, so as I kind of move to like my next part of the show is like what GMs, like what front office executives are under the most pressure? And you brought up Breslow a couple times as we kind of get to it. And so he makes this trade. He does trade the whole salary of Devers. They don't have to pay a dime for it. He does get some pitching depth, right? And he gets the Giants' first-round pick from last year from Florida State. Is there a world Boston made okay, and is he under the utmost pressure as we enter the deadline? Or is this move, it is what it is? And there's, I don't know, is there a weird, does he still have to do something else?
I don't know. I don't think that he's under any pressure. I think the conversation that John Henry and Devers and them had a couple last month in Kansas City, I think that kind of solidified the end. And so I think Breslow and Henry were in agreement. So, I mean, unless Henry just really wanted to be an a-hole and just kind of scapegoat, I don't. I don't know. I think it's. I don't see him under any real pressure right now.
How about the Diamondbacks GM? How about the Phillies GM? I had them on my list. I got the Mariners, Depoto's under the. I mean, like, I got the Orioles GM, the Rangers GM. I think there's a few. Even the Cubs, I think that may have to make a move a little bit. Is there any one of those that you might agree with? Like, for me, the top one would be the Diamondbacks.
Who was? Oh, the Orioles.
Yeah,
the Orioles GM. He is
his
the
name,
number one.
Yeah, Mr. Elias, Mike Elias. He's, they got a lot. I mean, what are they? They sit basically 6.5 out right now. Maybe cut into it tonight. Yeah, 6 out in the wild card right now. 11 out in the East. Definitely looks a little bleak, right? And then you have O'Hearn out there. You have Cedric Mullins. You can get some pieces back.
Yeah, and there's I think a couple months ago we talked about this in the text message chain that we're in. Like he kind of bet on himself as a GM.
Yeah.
He when the Orioles owners came in and said that they wanted to spend money, he kind of said no. He wanted to build up the farm, and they said, okay, fine, you don't have to spend money. He hasn't spent money. They lost Corbin Burns. They lost Santander and a couple other guys that they could have gone after, but they didn't. Kind of because of this guy's ego. And I think with the way that the Orioles are now, they're kind of in a bunch. And they're kind of struggling. And I think he's the reason why they're failing as a club, because he's not providing a team that can compete. He's kind of like the Jerry Krause of MLB right now, where he wants all the credit for putting a team together. He doesn't want to put a super team like the Dodgers together, which is admirable. But, there's a difference between spending so much money and not spending money at all.
You think the Royals need to do anything? Their GM need to do anything, or are they just too low market?
They need to get rid of their guys. They need to get rid of Lugo. They need to get rid of Salvi if they can. Waka, yeah.
How about the Cubs? They need to make a move too?
They need to make a move, but I don't know.
What do you want to see them do? They're an interesting one for me. More bullpen, probably, right? I mean, that's the obvious with every team,
right?
Bullpen, but they do need to make that. That is kind of a weak link a little bit. That end of that.
Yeah. Bullpen is probably a big thing. Who's their catcher
for the
Cubs?
The Cubs. Oh, it's who's the guy that we always debate?
Oh,
about?
Kelly.
Kelly. Yeah.
They probably need just another. I know it sounds so weird. Just another impact bat, maybe a first baseman. I really thought Alonso would have been great for that team in the offseason, but that's not working out for them. So they really if they could get an impact bat, maybe a first baseman. I wouldn't know. I mean, I wouldn't know anyone off the top of my head who would be good. Maybe Nathaniel Lowe. He would probably crush in that ballpark.
Oh, Lowe. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He would be exactly what you're asking for in a park like that. All right, so those are a few of the GMs that are under a little pressure. We'll dive into this a little bit more. You had a good kind of game. I think the Rangers are under a little. I'd be curious what they do at the deadline as well. Kind of what they're. Gives me an idea of what the GM is thinking. DeGrom's pitching really well for them, so we'll see. Evan Carter, is he going to be back? So we'll see what happens. They haven't got much from Josh Jung this year. Marcus Semien has been pretty bad. So curious what the Rangers do. They're kind of on my list of kind of keeping track of some guys and what they might actually do here at the Devers. Just to give you an update, he got his first RBI with the Giants, 2-2, middle of the fourth there in San Francisco with the Guardians there. Have you been watching any of the College World Series by chance? Or are you not a big College
No,
World?
but I did see that the guy had a no-hitter with 19 strikeouts the other day, so.
Here's the ending of it right here. I just wanted to get that up here for us.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Greatness from Gage. A no-hitter.
97 Logan Stone to end that up there. 119 pitches, 97 miles per hour. I always put the College World Series as one of these random events I would like to go to. That's not like one of the big four sporting events.
Right.
I know it's in Omaha, Nebraska, but there's something about it I've always enjoy.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I heard someone talking about how that pitcher whose name escapes me, he said it, but he's supposed to go in the first round of the draft in a couple weeks. And so that's kind of interesting to see if this help. I mean, it has to help him. 19 strikeouts in the World Series, that's nothing to sleep at. So I'm kind of curious if that, wakes some teams up a bit. I don't know if that makes him go higher or if because, it's kind of weird. Like the baseball draft. Yeah, the baseball draft, like you don't really get super excited for, right? It's just kind of one of those things where, like you don't really need to trade picks because if you trade picks, you can't really tell how good a pick is. And, whereas in football, like you draft a guy, he's playing for your team. He's starting like tomorrow in the big club. And so it's kind of weird. Like, so I don't know how this will impact baseball at all. It'll impact a little bit, I'm sure.
The draft is always interesting. It'd be cool if they could trade first round picks, I guess. Maybe that would be more exciting in that regard there.
Yeah.
Top 10 picks or something like that. If we start to get to the 20s, 30s, fans aren't going to care.
Yeah.
about any of that stuff at all. So, hey, you sent me the stuff. Best MLB position players since 2000. So they got Barry Bonds in left field, Mike Trout in center, Ichiro in right. You have any arguments with the outfield?
Ichiro, no. Who was it? Trout, no. And then Bonds. So not really a problem with Bonds. But I had it was more of a thing because he played 7 years since from 2000 to 2007. So I was kind of thinking, is there anyone who is better? And I can't really think of anyone off the top of my head. I thought maybe, there isn't anyone, but I'm also thinking it's just kind of weird that 7 years at the tail end of Bonds' career is better than any left fielder that's played in the last 25 years. If that makes sense to you.
Yeah, he just was so awesome even at the end with all the if you look at the numbers alone with it. Who do you think would be a best since 2000's second best center fielder? Is it McCutcheon? Would he be next?
No.
I was thinking. I was thinking he would be.
Yeah.
Jim Edmonds.
Andrew
Jones.
I guess Jim Edmonds. Andrew Jones probably would have been good.
But But they're not better than Trout, right?
No, not better than Trout. I mean, is there a reality where we say that Judge should be on this list?
Center field or right field?
Right field.
Yeah, I think there's a world. I think we're starting to get closer to that world.
Yeah, and so honestly, it may not make sense,
he should maybe be over Ichiro right now. You're right.
Yeah,
Ichiro has that 3,000 hits though, right? And he has.
Yeah.
I mean, Ichiro's as good as it gets though, so that's a tough one too.
Yeah, and so it's kind of maybe over Trout, but it's kind of weird that like Judge is he's been in the league for less than 10 years and he's got 350 home runs already or something ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, he's only getting better.
Yeah. And so, man, it's just so weird for me. It's like, I don't know. I don't know who. It's just kind of weird for me that Bonds for 7 years, and then like Ichiro, it's really hard to, compare Ichiro. But Ichiro, I mean, we never even got the best of Ichiro.
We really didn't, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah.
You go to the infield. You had Beltre at third base, Jeter at short. They have Cano at second base and Albert Pujols at first. Obviously, none of us are going to have an issue with Albert. You'll have some people that will say Altuve probably over Cano. Jeter, you could say A-Rod. I wouldn't hurt you with that, but Jeter has the rings. And then you have Beltre, which some people might say A-Rod there as well too. So kind of an interesting thing with the best players in that regard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Over to my computer, so hopefully you didn't get to look at my legs.
Hello, ladies.
Yeah, so yeah, I think A-Rod would be a better third baseman because he did play from the 2000s to 2018 when he retired, or 16 when he retired. He played mostly third base, and so. And, is there a better shortstop than Jeter was? Maybe Jimmy Rollins?
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Rollins, Garcia Parra, he wasn't there quite. Can I go back to third base real quick? Is Chipper Jones get no love, I guess, at all with that?
See, I'm trying to think of him more as a 90s player.
All right, because 95 and all that with it. I hear you. Man, he was right there, though, to me. If I'm looking at,
well, let me look because I'm.
No, you're right. He was more 96 with all the. I mean, if I go shortstop, this is a random name. He's not better than Jeter, I would think at all. But he did have some pretty good little run there with the. Was Tulowitzki, and I think Miguel Tejada had a good run. He wouldn't be better than Jeter. But no. I was saying he had some good. I mean, if you're talking not taking A-Rod since 2000, I think I might take Tulowitzki and Tejada just as high as the rest of those guys. I mean, the other guy creeping up now that I would have to think about as well. You said Jimmy Rollins is. Gosh, who did I just see? Who I was just thinking of? Not Jimmy.
Utley.
Lindor. I think Lindor is starting to kind of creep a little bit there. I always thought Hanley was one of the best as well, but they're not better than Jeter. No. They're not better than Jeter.
Yeah, it's hard to pick anyone over Jeter.
But Jeter was the rookie the same year basically Chipper Jones was.
Yeah, 96.
Yeah, I mean the only difference was 95 when the Braves won it. He was a rookie that year.
96, Jeter won his rookie year.
Yeah, so if I was going to argue, dig in, Chipper Jones would be the guy I would fight if we're not doing A-Rod with either the shortstop or third base. But how do they have Bonds on there? He did roids, and A-Rod's not on there. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking at the graphic, because I thought, Beltre was good, and I don't know why there's like this sudden. I mean, I like Adrian Beltre, but I don't understand why there's this big hype around him, right? I mean, it's kind of.
You don't want to go back to my bad statements. I remember I said he shouldn't be a first ballot Hall of Famer. He probably should be. But I always kind of looked at Beltre with those Seattle years, and I was always so disappointed. I don't know. But he got to Boston, and he was unreal.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't good until
Texas. Excuse me.
Yeah. Well, he started doing well with the Dodgers, I thought.
That was where he started with the Dodgers. He started with the Dodgers, then went to Seattle, got paid on that contract, kind of went to nothing. Then went to the Red Sox for 1 year, had a huge year, and then he ended up with Texas most of his career. I think that's where he finished. So that's kind of what that kind of was his bread and butter with it. Yeah, Cano, you have any issues? Or would you put Altuve over him?
Cano was just on a different level, and Cano kind of showed like a different type of player that could play second base. Like we always had the second baseman be a skinny, really fast kid who can, who wasn't really going to be anyone great.
Yeah.
For you, power wise, you got the weird Jeff Kent, but Jeff Kent wasn't really the greatest hitter of all time. Yeah, or defender. And so
it's got to be Utley or Pedroia, right?
See, the thing for me, Pedroia is like he got injured way too much. Like we never got to see full Pedroia. And so that's always what gets me. And
would you rather have Pedroia or would you rather have Altuve?
Oh, man, Pedroia was so good. I like Pedroia. Altuve I like too, but
Susie, we're not talking Astros this apart today. She'd be killing us.
She ripped into us. I mean, I had to cry myself into a pillow later.
I thought we did pretty good on the Astros that night. I thought we talked pretty well.
I thought we were nice, but yeah, I don't know. Altuve, he just kind of he had such a sharp drop off too.
Man,
like the last couple of years, I just feel like he's been middling.
Altuve or Kinsler?
Altuve.
Okay, so you got him ahead of you got him in the same kind of, because if you don't pick him, then we have a different. Are you taking Utley or Altuve?
Off the top of my head, it's probably Utley.
Yeah, because I'd have Utley as the second best second baseman behind Cano.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, Jeff Kent might be in there. You're starting to get really deep if you go like a Brandon Phillips or something. And then first base, it's Pujols by a mile.
Yeah, I mean
Freeman. I guess I can throw him in there, but
Freeman probably has a better argument than we probably give him credit for. But I mean, there's just nothing there's no comparison right now. I mean, there's 700 home runs and over 3,000 hits. Yeah, there's just nothing.
And first base is a stacked position. I mean, the only one, too, that I have an issue with that he's got to be on here. A DH, I mean, maybe this is where he's over out. Miguel Cabrera should be somewhere around this lineup.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to win the Triple Crown. And,
like, how's he not over? Is he third base over Beltre? Is he over Pujols? Is he over Big Papi? I mean, like, Miguel Cabrera should be on this list, shouldn't he?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Man, hold on. Let's see. He's not right.
Threw you a curveball there.
Yeah, let's see. Beltre. I'm comparing the three guys together. Let's see. So from, oh my gosh, not 1870, 2000 to 2025, and we are looking, and so let's see. It's not. I mean, Adrian Beltre shouldn't even be on this. Right.
Not compared to Cabrera though.
Yeah. So A-Rod versus Cabrera. A-Rod has him on WAR. Games Cabrera has him. Cabrera has him on hits. This is from 2000 to 2025. So there's some of Rodriguez's hits that just don't count right now. So Miguel has him on hits. Home runs 548 versus 511 A-Rod. RBIs 1881 Miguel versus A-Rod. Stolen bases 210 to 40 A-Rod. Batting average 306 to 291 Miguel, and then on base slugging, OPS and OPS plus go to A-Rod. So it's a pretty.
Give me him over Big Papi at DH.
Oh, is Big Papi on the DH? Oh yeah, no. Oh no, I forgot Big Papi was on the DH.
We're giving Miguel over Big Papi.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, that's laughable. You can't win the Triple Crown and then not be on this team.
That's my biggest one is Cabrera's got to be somewhere on here when I look at this team. Another one is Mauer Posey. I mean, I know Josh would throw Yachty. I'm sorry.
He's not on. The more I look at their stats, the more I'm like, no, you don't deserve to be on here. Sorry.
It's Mauer Posey.
Yeah.
Since 2000, right? Those are the two guys.
Yeah.
I would lean towards Posey myself, but I wouldn't kill anybody that had Mauer.
Yeah. Let's see. What was the? Because I looked it up. So yeah, Mauer's got Posey on everything basically.
So he played a shorter career, obviously.
He played more games. He played over 500 more games than Posey.
Yeah,
and had 2,000 more plate appearances than Posey did. Almost 600 more hits. Posey has him on home runs, but RBI, stolen bases, batting average, and on base percentage, Mauer has him. At least 15 points, slugging, OPS, and OPS plus. That's Posey. So it's close, but I mean, to me, I think it's Mauer.
Yeah, I would take Posey. I mean,
and
they both won
3
MVP,
weeks ago.
right?
I would have told you Posey, no like question, but yeah, today it's Mauer for me. And then tomorrow's going to be Molina.
There is even as it can, and then it's going to be Posada. You got to take Posada in there. You know, Posada.
It's always going to be Posada at number 1 in my heart. So
yeah,
I mean, maybe Salvi Perez needs to be on there.
Yeah, he might be. He's getting closer. I would think Pudge, even back from those days. Apparently, Russell Martin, as we saw this year, he should be on there. Remember the Hall of Fame voting?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had all that with it.
Oh,
so I would say he's on the list if we're kind of looking at some catchers along the way there. I think Javi Lopez, a little shout out to him. Mike Piazza, some of his better years. Jason Varitek would probably be in the top 10 for me too. But nitty gritty, Posey there. And then no doubt about it, right? We don't even need to discuss this one. It's Rivera at relief pitcher. So that one's, I think, automatic. And then starter Kershaw.
So Kershaw, I'm actually kind of – I was kind of curious to see if Verlander has a shot, or even Pedro. I think Pedro was someone I was also interested in.
I think it's Verlander.
Yeah. So I was stupid and I forgot to not look this up. So
no, I think that Kershaw has. I mean, I know. Again, I'm not going to kill anybody for taking Kershaw. He probably, I don't know. Verlander, it'd be Kershaw. It probably would. I think I'd have to lean back on Kershaw. I know his postseason sucked, but man, during regular season, he was always the best. Though I felt like
Oh wait, hold on. Oh, dumb. Crud. I looked up. I'm stupid. I did Pedro try to see what he did, but I realized that they all won the Triple Crown in their careers. The pitching Triple Crown, which is pretty impressive. They actually Kershaw and Verlander won it in the same year.
I wouldn't kill you for Pedro. I mean, one of the best years ever, year 2000, height of the steroid era, 18-6, 1.74 ERA, 284 strikeouts, and 217 innings. I mean, we're talking 2000.
Yeah.
That is a damn good start, right? Under 2. Are you kidding me? In the height of the steroid era? Wow.
Just those years in Boston. I mean, gosh, he was just so dominant. And here,
Halladay would be on that list for me. Scherzer.
Halladay. Oh my gosh, Halladay. Scherzer probably needs more respect on that one.
But I think Kershaw's regular season, his postseason is awful. It's a 4.43, even higher now, ERA. Still would probably lean toward Kershaw.
Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, this is from 2000 to 2025. It's hard.
Pedro can't be in it since 2000.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's just one of those things.
Look at Verlander, 600 more strikeouts or 500 more strikeouts at that point. Through both 3 Cy Youngs, but Kershaw does have the 5 ERA titles. But he had a pitcher in the 9 hole. I mean, you could go all this nickel and dime. These are the 2 guys that you're fighting over.
Yeah,
right? It's Kershaw and him at that point that you're fighting over between those 2. So that was fun, kind of looking at some of those guys. But Cabrera needs to be somewhere on this list.
Yeah, I forgot Ortiz was on that list. He needs to be removed. So.
He definitely needs to be
love Ortiz, but no,
not happening on that level there with it. What was that? What did I see baseball wise that I was going to try to? Oh yeah, Philadelphia. Nick Castellanos benched. Inappropriate comment. I wasn't happy about it. Spoke my mind. He said I crossed the lines with my punches. Anything in Philly? You still believe in them, or any cracks there with them?
I believe in them. They have needs just like every other team. Yeah, the Castellanos thing was kind of new for me. I saw that a couple hours ago. I didn't really look into it too much. I just saw that he made a comment. So I don't know, but
I just kind of look at it like the same thing we just talked about with Cleveland. You just do certain things. People have to suspend you. It does. There's always going to be having to put pieces back together, unless the player's like, I just totally messed up. But
I don't know if it's because of this. I wouldn't say it's because of this incident here, but I would not be surprised if Castellanos got traded, especially if they wanted to get a third baseman that they need, and then maybe a certain outfielder that has been rumored to be like the favorite to come over. So the last couple of years. So I think Castellanos probably needs to go. He's too much of a free swinger, but I think they have needs that they just need to address.
It'll be interesting with what was the other one that kind of the Mets kind of going down with some injuries. They lose another relief pitcher today. They lost Senga last week. They did sweep. They got swept by the Rays, right? And they kind of came back, bounced back this week as well. So Mets kind of bouncing back a little bit too there as well. The other thing that kind of, when I just look at the standings just real quick before I kind of get the show moving on here. When I look at the standings as I enter like June, which is always a big date a little bit. Like we talked about the Astros last week. Again, I just want to emphasize how good the Tigers are playing. Like the Tigers are playing great baseball right now. Like not just good baseball, they're playing great baseball. And so like they're going to go under the radar here a little bit because they don't have like the studs of all studs, but they are playing the best baseball in Major League. They are. They're just playing cleaner baseball. I know they don't have the most drama around them yet, but they're playing really good. And at what point are we going to acknowledge the Cubs at a full World Series potential team? They don't have Imanaga back. They're going to get him back soon. They're not getting much from Presley when he came at the bullpen role. Yeah. They can make some trades along the way. Those are probably the two teams as we enter June that I have my is the Tigers. It's like, oh well, they're the best team. Of course you have it. Yeah, but they're for different reasons. Are they going to be the best team come July 4th? Are they going to be the best team come August? I want to that takes a lot to be the best team all year in Major League Baseball. So I want to see where they're at. When they get gut checked, because they're going to lose 5 in a row at some point. When that happens, I want to see them, and I want to see how the Cubs handle things as well. Those are the 2 teams I'm keeping my eye on. Not because they're just the best teams, but because they're the best teams and they're not used to this. So I want to see how they handle these summer months.
They're young too. Yeah. I mean, the Cubs are not as young as the Tigers, but the Tigers are really young. And, they had that weird trip to the wild card last season. So they didn't really get to they were dead in July. And then they had a historic turnaround and just barely got into the playoffs. So I'm kind of curious to see where they're at there, but I'm
anybody else? The Brewers yet? You still not? No, still not. No, every week I'm going to ask you that.
I'm not there yet. They took 3 out of 4 from the Cardinals, and the Cardinals are stupid. So
how about the Rays? They're also on fire.
They swept the Mets. That's a big deal. That was a statement series right there.
And they're hitting really well. They're averaging 6 runs a game over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Surprised me.
Yeah. They got a lot of good guys. So are they going to do anything at the deadline? I don't think so. If anything, they're going to actually sell. They're going to get rid of Brandon Lowe, who could go to the Cubs, actually. That might be the second baseman that they need.
Yeah.
Or first baseman because he can play first, second, third, and outfield. So
go Blue Jays. Come on, Vladimir. You hit a home run tonight. We're trying to prove Logan wrong. We're going to go a little Blue Jays bandwagon with it. Here with it. All right. Hey, I don't. You go ahead.
I'm looking at the Blue Jays right now. They're 6-4. It's not bad.
No, they're right there. All right. So as we kind of get into the end here, if you're listening here on Thursday night, got the Mariners up 8-0 on the Red Sox. On the way, Guardians up 3-2 on the Giants. A's losing 5-0. They're getting no hit top of the 4th. Dodgers up 3-2 as well. Those are your live action here. The Yankees lose 4-0 to the Angels. They only get 4 hits tonight. Rockies, big win over the Nationals. They get the dub. Tigers win again. Marlins get the win over the Phillies. Blue Jays the win over the D-backs. The Reds held on against the Twins. And then you had the Braves winning 10 innings along as with the Orioles beating the Rays. That's your kind of recap of the scoreboard tonight on a Tuesday after a Tuesday evening. All right, so trivia here for you. I don't have it written down because I told you I had some circumstances.
Oh, right.
But I still got a player for you along the way with it. So here's hit number 1. I played from 2008 to 2022. I won 2 ERA titles in the American League and was a Cy Young Award winner.
2 pitching titles, you said?
Yeah, so he played from 2008 to 2022. He won 2 ERA titles.
Oh, ERA titles.
And won a Cy Young.
Porcello.
Not Porcello.
Oh, I wanted that one. 2008, 2022.
I'll give you a hit number 2.
I'm playing MLB The Show 9 in my head right now. So, okay, go ahead and play the
I was a 5-time All-Star. I pitched left-handed.
Oh, that should have got me, but I'm stupid. Oh, all I have is stupid still in my head.
And I won the 2008. I was on the team that won the 2018 World Series with the Red Sox as a pitcher, obviously. The next clue I think you'll be able to get, so I'll say that for third.
Not Anibal Sanchez.
No.
Not. See, 2018 was kind of a weird year for me because I wasn't really paying attention. It was like one of the few years where I wasn't. And so now I'm wishing that I was actually paying attention in that bar when I was kind of eyeing the World Series. I just remember Chris Sale, but
I closed out the ALCS my rookie year against the Red Sox when I was supposed to be a starter. I was the first pick overall from Vanderbilt University, and I started my career with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh my gosh, David Price.
Boom! Took you a little bit. You got
it. I'm so dumb. Why am I so dumb?
Well, you didn't get to read it. I said it verbally. I mean, you learn better by for reading it. You got it. All right, David Price. You got it. There you go. He was. I just remember that rookie year closing it out, throwing his glove up.
Yeah.
They tagged second base over at that. It's one of my favorite ones here with it. So, all right, Logan, well done. You got it. That's all that matters.
Wow.
That's all that matters with it.
All right. I look like Josh right there. I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah. Josh would not have got that, though. So I'm sorry, Josh. I love you, but you wouldn't have got that one. All right. It's collision time. If you know what it's a little hit to my MLB flash.
What a ride. The Cardinals are world champs in 2011.
All right, let's take you to Old County Stadium in Milwaukee. We'll get the little ground ball to second base, but some drama ensues.
There it is, Vina. Oh, this is just like the play in the third inning. And it was Albert Bell back in the third inning. This time he lays it on Vina even more so. The umpire could say that Bell disrupts the double play here.
Well, this isn't a dirty play. Watch Albert Bell. Does he pull his arms out? Does he give him a forearm shiver? Yeah, he does.
I would say that is a forearm shiver, Mr. Logan Stud. In a second. I he looks back at him as he's running to the dugout.
That's not even like the first time that happened either. That's like the fifth time that he's done that.
It's one of those famous ones, though.
Yeah,
it's a famous one. He took him out, Mr. Fernando, famous Cardinal. You got to take it out there. You got to take it out there with it. Well, kind of a little different here doing it on a Tuesday night, but appreciate you joining me, being able to talk a little baseball. We're getting closer. I was like, this week, a little too soon. But All-Star ballot almost here, right? Like, we're getting closer to that. So hopefully we'll be able to do like a little home run derby stuff. I do want to do the rewatchable. I have it on our list. We'll have to text about this. I want to rewatch the 94 All-Star game.
Oh, that's right.
And do a podcast just on that game. So yeah. I'll have to hit you up on that. We'll have to do that before. That's on my bucket list. That was the one before the strike, but what a great game with that one too. So we'll probably do a little rewatchable on that game, get Logan Stone's history up to par there with it. But that was fun, man. Good show. And this is where, for me, like I said, we have the Devers trade. We have some teams in flux a little bit. It's kind of an interesting time of the year, these next 6 weeks, to see what GMs decide to do.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that we're, it just came out of nowhere, and now we're in trade season baseball. So no one's safe now, and I love that. It's typically like the first or 2 weeks before the deadline that we start getting some trades, but it's a month out, so it's Christmas came early for me.
What team do you think makes the next move? Big move.
I think the Dodgers have to make a move. I don't think Ohtani can be going one inning for the next 6 starts.
What was that?
It's so dumb. I guess I understand technically it was not even a start. It was a rehab start, but I don't. I feel like you wasted a roster spot right there. But that's just me. I get that they want to be careful, but it seems like he's just wanting to go. And so I would just let him go. 60 pitches is the limit. Fine. If he makes it 3 innings, great. If he makes it 4 innings, that's awesome.
This isn't the show for it, but I do want to discuss this with you probably in the future is, do the Dodgers have a way of just wearing out their pitchers too? Like I'm not like, at what point do me and you have this discussion that it's like, the Dodgers just have pitching injuries. Like,
because this is the thing that I've been talking about for years is like I don't actually think Dave Roberts is a good manager, and I think his handling of the bullpen and pitching staff is kind of.
I think I know what we're going with next week. If you're with me, I think this is a good. Because I don't want to dive deeper into it than just that. I've seen some stats where I'm like, and they threw a guy out. They brought a guy out the other day where he's like, "Yeah, you're going to throw 115 pitches," and then you sit back to the minor leagues, like, and they have a history of. I'm not saying Snell and Glass now or whatever we call him is on there with it, but I'm just kidding.
Gaines gout.
He's got gout. We got him on there with it. Like, I do want to dive into that with you. I think it's something it's hard not to notice it. So it's something I want to kind of dive a little deeper in, and I don't want it to be an excuse anymore. And they won last year with it. So
I will say, I think if Dave Roberts was fired from the Dodgers, I don't think he would be getting a job with any other team anytime soon.
Only the Red Sox.
Only the Red Sox. Yeah.
What a stolen base it was. What a stolen base.
He can be the second base coach.
Yeah, there you go. Let's do that with it. So, so I kind of want to dive into that a little bit as well. At some point this year, I do want to hit on Mr. McCutcheon as well. As I don't know how much longer he's playing, but man, what a great player he's been. He passes Clemente this week as well. So, or at the end of the tail last week too. So we got some stuff. We got some AL Central stuff heating up here. Deadline right around the corner. All-Star games right around the corner. Looking forward to that as well. Home Run Derby. I'm always a sucker for that too. So, Mr. Stone, have a good rest of the week. Thanks for joining me on a Tuesday night. Hopefully we can make a Wednesday work next week as well. We'll see what your schedule looks like. But until then, 17th stretch. Edwards, where you at? Go Cardinals.